Good morning. Today is September 29th, 2025. And first of all, I want to apologize for not being able to post for the last 1 week or so. I did get a little bit under the weather and I had to take care of some other business. But now I'm back. So let's get the ball rolling. So first of all, GDP data did come up for July and we are up by 0.2 month over month. And that's a first gain in 4 months. So what does this mean? It's not negative GDP, which means it's recessionary, but it's not positive GDP, which means our economy is booming. Pretty much it's like a stalemate where we're not really bad, but we're not good, which is not really good too, right? So annualized wise, we are up by 0.7, but again, we're avoiding a technical recession right now. So let's go with the job vacancies first. So job vacancies did fall to the lowest of 2.6%. That's the lowest since 2017. And unemployment, people are expecting it to come to 7.3% by the end of this year. So when it's the end of this year, that's going to be Christmas time. And this kind of reminds me of 2008, where, we all got unemployment numbers, and that was probably one of the worst Christmases in Canadian history. But again, let's see. I'm not prophesizing anything, but let's see what happens by the last quarter. And the 10-year yield did go up by 0.8 basis points for the week. And that's kind of anticipated because all the energy and everything that surrounding the September 17th rate cut is kind of subsiding now. And nowadays we are actually more focusing on what's going to happen in October. If there is a highly likelihood of another rate cut by the Bank of Canada, my guess is another 0.25, but fingers crossed, maybe 0.5. But overall, we are in a place where, we will get rate cuts, but our economy as a whole is not performing to the best of our ability. Now, going more into deep dive of the GDP. So mining, oil and gas went up by 1.4%. Manufacturing did go up by 0.7. Wholesales went up by 0.6. Transportation did go up by 0.6 as well. And overall, manufacturing and everything is going up. But real estate and leasing did only go up by 0.3. And that's negligible, right? But this is where more important data is coming in, which is retail trade did come down by 1%. And food stores came down by 2%. Clothing came down by 3.4%. And sporting goods came down by 8.2%. However, with the thing about sporting goods is usually as Canadians, we are more towards winter sports, right? So that could change in the next few months, but let's see what happens. And with the government finances, there's a surplus that did shrink to $7 billion from 13.7 year over year. So that's the main reason for the federal balance to be swinging by negative 2.1 billion deficit is because of, you guessed it, the carbon tax. So the carbon tax did bring in $2.5 billion before, but now we are kind of missing that because obviously we did axe the tax. So now, it's either we have to figure out a new tax, which no one wants to do, or, we have to figure out how we're going to survive with not having a balanced federal budget for the short term. When it comes to tourism, it went up by 1.3%, but overall it did come down by 0.2%. And domestic spending did go up by 2.9%, but international visitors came down by 5.3%. And here's the thing, US arrivals came down by 10.2%. That means as much as we are doing the elbows up, they're doing some sort of version of that themselves as well in the States. So that's very important because usually a lot of tourism happens in Canada, for Canada in summer break. It's because since that's done now, this is a concerning number. But again, we have to see if we're not just in this by ourselves. Canada is not an island. Obviously, there's a bunch of different countries across the globe that are facing similar situations, right? So let's see what happens. But when it comes to housing, Pre-construction condos sales are 33-year low. Defaults are rising. Prices are down 28% from 2022 peaks. And CMHC says it's less dire than the 1990s, but that's thanks to pre-sold inventory and housing shortages. But here's the thing. I'm a private lender. Equity-based lender. And what I know is when it comes to pre-sale condos, that doesn't mean anything until occupancy, because when occupancy comes in, that's when the actual numbers should show up, because we are seeing a lot of occupancy not happening because of equities, because of, there's not enough equity in the home, or, for whatever reason, the banks are not able to fund that mortgage. So, and then that's when the defaults are coming in. But, these are numbers from the CMHC. As much as I would like to believe that these are accurate, I'm seeing it in in a real world. And yes, there's a lot more condo defaults as we speak. However, on the positive side, the rates are coming down. 3-year, you could get about 3.89 right now. 5-year, around 3.99. And a 5-year fixed, you're looking about 4.24. Again, these are really great numbers if you're getting a new mortgage or refinancing your existing one. But if you're, again, as I said before from my previous uploads, wait for a little bit longer until the rates come down a little bit more. And the other thing I want to talk about, there is a generational divide between the haves and have-nots. So most of the first-time home buyers coming in, their parents already have a home, or grandparents, and they're giving them a gift for their down payment. So not many self-made homeowners are coming onto the market right now, because right now it's a great time to buy something. But again, you can only buy it if you have money, right? The next thing I want to talk about is power of sales. So power of sales in Toronto right now was 18, but from that, 7 of them were from private lenders, 4 of them were from mix, and the remainder were the only ones from the banks. So overall, 7 and 4, that's 11. So out of the majority of the defaults are with private, which is understandable. The reason is because obviously mix and private lenders, we are not a permanent solution. And usually we are a bridge between getting a mortgage at the bank or, selling the property. It's, as I said, it's not a permanent solution. The other data I want to talk about is the renters have an average credit score of 694, which is 40 points below a homeowner. And the main reason is because mortgage payments get reported onto the credit report and rent doesn't. And obviously that kind of boosts your credit score. And Ottawa did pledge in 2024 that they are going to start reporting it. They're going to find a way of reporting the rent into the credit score, but nothing has happened as of yet. Because I know for sure if you miss a rent payment, yes, there's a little bit of consequences with the the landlord, but overall there's not much. But majority of the tenants do pay their rent on time. But overall, I think rent should be put into the credit score, so that could be benefiting people who pay rent on time, and also giving them a reason to pay rent on time for the people who don't. The last thing I want to talk about is the Canada Post strike. So this is a second strike that's happening, and it was a surprise one for all of us. And I personally think it's time for Canada Post to modernize its solution, because cutting delivery to homes is not the answer, because there are other alternatives like UPS, DHL, Purolator, and even Amazon who do deliver to the homes. And it's one of those things where I personally do not like to get packages delivered by Canada Post, because 9 out of 10 times the postman or post person does not bring the package to my home. They usually bring the slip, and then I have to make myself go to a Shoppers Drug Mart or wherever the Canada Post places, and I have to go within their business hours to get the package. And it's not something that's has transformed with the time of with modern times, and I believe there is space for Canada Post to change its method. But then again, I could be wrong, but this is something that's up for debate. And overall, this is your Monday recap. Enjoy your week and enjoy your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a safe day.